in 2017, after a restructuring process, which was commissioned by the Malta government and the European Union, then we had to change Air Malta strategy. In 2016-17, there were only 7 planes within Air Malta. It was reducing its routes. It was trying to find a partner, and there were discussions with Alitalia. This all fell through. In 2017, and I became chairman July 2017, we thought, and I felt that we need to have a radical change in strategy. In actual fact, we restated Malta's vision, said Air Malta has to grow in order to survive in a highly competitive and highly aggressive industry. Until that time, Air Malta was a legacy airline. We all had the low-cost airlines competing with us, and Air Malta wasn't reacting to that reality. And therefore, the first step was to show a direction, a really emphatic change in strategy, a strategy of growth. Within 12 months, we introduced 21 new routes. We increased our capacity on existing routes by 30%. Our airplane utilization rose from 7 hours daily to 11 and 12.5 in summer. And even our fleet, we increased our fleet to 10. Therefore, this was a lot of radical steps taken at one time. It was a little bit risky, but obviously that was, I think, our first statement until 2018. In the meantime, we knew that in order to encounter this increase in capacity, we increased our passenger numbers by 300,000 in 18 months. Now it's over 2 million, but we still needed to increase our load factors, our yield, improve our OTPs and on-time performance and our operations. Now, 19 and 20 for me is a consolidation period. What do I mean by consolidation? I understand that we'll tweak and revisit our capacity with 10 aircraft, maximum capacity with 10 aircraft, connectivity to the main cities within Europe, which we have. At the moment we are looking at Spain for Madrid, which we don't have a connection there, but otherwise within all the main airports in Europe, we have regular connectivity daily, sometimes 2-3 times weekly, therefore the direct connectivity. And we also connect with the North African rim from Morocco, Tunis. Libya is continually in our focus once one can operate there. Tel Aviv, now we just started Tel Aviv, and Cairo. Cairo started a month ago, and Tel Aviv a few months ago as well. Therefore, the North African rim, including Tel Aviv, is within our schedule. Beyond that, we go to Russia, Moscow, and St. Petersburg. Therefore, in that way, we reached our first stage as a Mediterranean Hub Regional Airline that can connect North African rim to the rest of European capitals. That's where we are now, therefore, consolidating that, revisiting that, and tweaking it according to the requirements and the demands. At the same time, we are overhauling totally our operations in order to improve our on-time performance, how we do our scheduling, how we do our rostering, and everything, so that we minimize issues with cockpit and crew. And I think we have moved fast forward on that. We do have some issues, like all airlines, with pilots. The cockpit is always are a little bit difficult, but I strongly believe in having discussions around the table. We are going to find the right compromise, and I think we are on the right direction in that respect. And at the same time, revenue is essential for any aviation airline. We are saying, yes, what assets does Air Malta have in terms of human assets? One of our main assets is the engineering. So far, our engineering team, which is very efficient, and I think it gets very high grades, when competing with other MROs within the industry, only served Air Malta. I'm restructuring it in such a way so that it will now be serving and outsourcing its capacities and capabilities and its services to other airlines, which are setting up AOCs in Malta, setting up base in Malta. The government policy now is very strong to develop Malta as an aviation hub. We have become a shipping hub since the early 70s. Now there is a drive, a strategic drive and a political drive to which everybody agrees to become an aviation hub. And AOCs are already being set up by established airlines in Malta. And obviously we can benefit from that development by outsourcing services which we can deliver very, very efficiently, but obviously this will require restructuring within the company. And now we have started on that, and I think by mid-2020, our engineering section will be an independent company, an affiliate sister company, of course, but it will be, we will outsource our services to it as Air Malta, but they will outsource also to other airlines, like the Ryanair, the EasyJet that are operating in there. That means we'll get additional revenue, our fixed cost will be spread on more productivity, and our unit costs will become more competitive again. Therefore, that's a problem addressed. Another thing for 2020 is the setting up again of an Air Malta academy to start training pilots again, and we are doing this together with other interested parties, the private sector, so that will serve not only the Airbuses, we have an Airbus fleet, but also Boeing training if it is required. And we are already in discussions with international companies in that respect who have shown interest to have an academy here in Malta, that is, so that we can provide the crop of pilots that the aviation industry will be requiring them and giving them even several training, specialized and focused training as could be required. This is a project which we will start in 2020. We will build a state-of-the-art academy there. We are already identifying the best site within the airport parameter when there are also simulators in place, therefore that would be better, and therefore we are looking at that. The totality of all these various initiatives, which also includes how to strengthen our distribution. For example, at the world travel market here, with our tour operators and agents, online tour operators and even travel agents, we are introducing to them two different aggregators and distribution platforms. Why? So that we can have better reach. We will facilitate for them that they will connect in real time, 24/7, with our inventory as things are changing and developing, and also because we want to develop what in the industry is becoming a mass now, which is dynamic packaging, so that the passenger will build his own experience. And this also fits with where we want Air Malta to become. We the hybrid airline, which means that we keep certain elements of the legacy, like the business class, which we have improved greatly and we are still improving and so on. But at the same time, within an economy, the client, the passenger, will build his own experience and will have a vast choice of services, seating, baggage, and so on and so forth. And this dynamic packaging is in demand, and therefore we are introducing it by January 2020, and we'll be selling even ancillaries by March 2020. The totality of all these initiatives means that the company will be set will adapt to the market, not fight the market, will adapt to the market, so that will increase our load factor at the best possible yield, which is the most difficult task to find that balance. That is the competition, where to do it. It's like selling stocks and bonds on the market, because it goes up and down and changes all the time. But I think 2020 will be a very important year in that respect, where we continue to improve our load factor, but then at the same time improve on our yield. with the engineering also set in place, we'll have what is, in my opinion, will be the real Air Malta, as defined, a hybrid airline with good services, always service with a smile, always a service with great hospitality, for which we are renowned as Maltese. But then, what would be the next leap for Air Malta? We have been here for 45 years, and we have survived the market. Many others, even bigger than us, have failed. But we are here, we have to think of the next 4 to 5 years. And I believe that the next leap should be that Air Malta should go intercontinental. Okay. In the European market. And therefore, we have our target within our vision, India and New York as the two starting points that we'll be doing on our own aircraft. In actual fact, we have already committed ourselves to buy the 321 XLR that will come in production in 2024-25. Therefore, that is the next step that I am building, or I all together, all my employees, or all the management, all the people, we are looking at Air Malta, and everybody agrees on this trajectory, on this vision. In the meantime, it's worth noting that we have about 13 co-sharing agreements with leading airlines, the Lufthansas, the Emirates, the Etihad, and so on. We are developing even those. Furthermore, with Qatar, for example, that will soon will have a co-share agreement, and that will help them more the economy, because Air Malta, being a government company, is not simply our shareholder. The government doesn't look at the end of the year dividends. I look at the end profit. Of course, we have to be operationally independent, but moreover, how much Air Malta can continue to act as a catalyst to our economic growth and open up new markets. And through the co-sharing, we're getting connectivity to the east, to Australia and the far and more distant countries than the Mediterranean. This, in a few words, is what is our industrial plan, our vision for the future. We want to make sure that Air Malta remains for the next 4 to 5 years.